Michael Nagy here with Jiggy Jag TV and DiscoveringBands.com. Everyone watching shares video on my channel and help support the awesome artists I feature. And today I'm here with Max Valentino. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Good. Great to have you. And you want to start off and tell everyone a little about your musical background?
Oh yeah, by all means. Funny enough, ever since I was able to talk, really, I've been singing. My mother was a vocal teacher. She went to Hofstra for education, for vocal education, music and stuff like that. Education. Me, obviously, once she had kids, she took off of work, started teaching me everything she knows. And she recalls ever since I could sing, ever since I could talk, I could sing. So when I was a very young kid, my father would play the Sinatra CDs in the car on the way to, Century 21 or the way to King Cullen. I'm from Long Island, if you couldn't tell. But ever since I could talk, I've been singing along with those CDs. Every family gathering, they'd have me get up there and start singing some silly stuff, and I loved every second of it. And then, I got into sixth grade, I started doing musical theater, which my mother was very big into when she was in college. In high school, she played Eponine and Les Miserables in our college production at Hofstra. And my first role was Harry the Horse in Guys and Dolls, which originally starred Marlon Brando and Frank Sinatra in the movie from the 40s, I believe. Could be wrong on that. Don't fact check me. But one of my favorite movies, believe it or not, with those two amazing actors, Sinatra being a singer, of course, fantastic. And that was my entrance into live performance. And then ever since that, I've been out here doing live performances, singing, etc., musical theater. I've played Gaston in Beauty and the Beast, Jean Valjean and Les Miserables, Jekyll and Hyde and Jekyll and Hyde. A lot of pretty cool roles. Very lucky for me to be able to play those roles. Very blessed, and I appreciate God giving me the ability to do so. But I'm done yapping. How about you?
Well, you got a lot going on. I would say you sing the classics really well. Like, for the people who are familiar with my channel, I'm normally into the heavier music, the darker stuff. But, we work right next to each other, and I see you all the time, hear you're singing, and it's talented, so I figure have you on.
Why not take all kinds of sin? I'm no good without you.
What got you into, doing covers and stuff?
Yeah, so like I said, ever since my father would play those CDs in the car, I would sing Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Tony Bennett. Every year, my family decorates the tree. We put on Frank Sinatra or Bing Crosby for the Christmas album. And ever since I have heard that kind of music for the first time, I don't even remember it. That's how long ago it's been. They say your memory doesn't develop until you're like 3 or 4, right? So I as far back as I can remember, I've always wanted to sing that kind of music. And even when I got into school and everybody's singing all this new hip hop stuff and this rap or whatever nowadays, which I get it, everybody's got their taste, everybody's got their cup of tea. Mine, I could never get with it. I was always more of a classics guy. So while everybody else is listening to trying to think, I don't know, one of these modern guys, I was sitting there listening to Paul Anka, Put Your Head on My Shoulder, stuff like that. And throughout the years, as much as I was made fun of for it, I was also kind of appreciated for it because I was that old school guy all through high school. I was that guy with the hair. Everybody would say, the greaser guy, look at Danny Zuko over here, which aged pretty well because my senior year of high school, I played Danny Zuko in Grease for the musical program. And that lends itself to my my classics repertoire, if you will, for lack of better words. And it's just kind of who I am. That's what got me into it. My family's authentic with it. We're very, New York Italian. My father's from Brooklyn. My mother's from Long Island. What more can I say?
It seems like you got like a local cult following here, like at the Nino's restaurant. You play every weekend. It's packed. Everyone likes to come see you. Do you also tour and play elsewhere, or you just stay local? And when you play, do you switch up, the nights with the songs and stuff?
So as for regular gigs, right now, all I got every week, and I say all I got very loosely because they treat me very amazing here. The people here are fantastic. The crowd's incredible. Anthony, the owner, he treats me like another son. I'm here every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Other than that, I'm just kind of sitting around waiting for a call, trying to, figure out what I can do next to improve my state, if you will. I have done shows such as Miss Senior New Jersey over in Atlantic City at Harrah's Casino, Miss Senior America, which is like Miss America for Senior Citizens, over in the Tropicana. Okay. That's like one of the biggest casinos out there in Atlantic City. And I love doing that kind of stuff because I don't know, they bring me out there because they look for that authentic kind of feel for the vibe of the show. And if I can keep the authentic classic vibe for the show, for them, by all means, I've always said I want to be today's, next generation's Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra, one of those guys from the Rat Pack. Because you got all these people nowadays, and I mean this very, you get a lot of these people nowadays, it's like, I don't want to name any examples. I don't want to insult anybody, but you got a lot of people nowadays that are very raunchy on TV, very questionable on TV. I wouldn't want my son or daughter looking up to them. But you don't have anybody like Dean Martin or Frank Sinatra, you know, showing up in a suit with class, speaking like a gentleman or a lady. You know, it's a shame. And I feel like in this day and age, what people are really missing is the this generation is missing the role model for just respect and class. And, you know, I hate to say that because I love everybody. I love the people. I love everybody. You know what I mean? But there's nobody really to teach kids how to hold the door, how to say thank you, how to say please. I was very lucky to be raised the way I was. My parents were very old school, the way they raised me. But I feel like a lot of times you see that's lacking in today's youth, in today's society.
You're trying to keep that vibe alive.
Absolutely, yeah. I'd love to see the world become a slightly better place if I have anything to say about it, if I have any way of influencing.
Now, do you make your own music too? Like,
I have a couple originals. One is currently offline because I took it down due to extraneous reasons. I have one original. My first song I ever wrote was called The Way They Do. And it is about a time I was at a social gathering, and there was a rather nice-looking girl, or I thought at the time, who was there, and I didn't have the guts to talk to her because I was, you know, a little younger, a little stupider, a little dumber. And my one friend did. So I always say, the one tagline in the song is, I'll never find the way to say what they can and make you feel the way they do. Because I wouldn't know what to say. But my friends always did. They were ladies' men. Me, I'm a one-woman guy, you know what I mean? I find a girl that I really like and I stick with her. You know, my girlfriend right now, she's fantastic. But yeah, that's what my first song was written about. Other than that, I do covers of, you know, famous Sinatra, Dean Martin songs. I do covers. I did a cover of a song by Bruno Mars a little bit ago. One by Juice WRLD as well. I don't dislike all modern music. Juice WRLD had me with Lucid Dreams. He inspired me to do a cover of it, which I did in the style of Sinatra, Dean Martin, etc. Bruno Mars, love him to death. Love him to death. And today's, you know, except for his most modern song, geez, Lord, let me tell you, holy cow, talk about vulgar lyrics. You know what I mean? Like I said, if I had a kid 5 years old, 10 years old, 15 years old, I wouldn't want to listen to that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear that language around my house, but it is what it is. I did When I Was Your Man by Bruno Mars as a cover. And I find myself connecting with a lot of the more emotional songs for reasons, whether it be present, past, etc. Right now I'm in a really good place. I'm very happy, love my life. Love every second of what I do, love my girlfriend, etc. What can I say? But sometimes things just resonate with you and you really just have to work with them.
so where do you want to take this in like 5 years from now? Just keep doing what you're doing, build on it? Like, where do you see yourself?
That's all a matter of who finds me, who I can contact. Right now, like I said, I love where I am, don't get me wrong. But Vegas is the dream. Being out there, having a one-man show in Vegas, or maybe a duo show if I find somebody else who wants to, you know. My grandfather, for example, if he's willing to come out there with me, I'd love it. My grandfather, Mr. Bobby Fischetti from Staten Island. My mother told me how to sing. Like I said earlier, my mother taught me how to sing. My grandfather taught me how to be a showman. And that's what made me the, I'm up there dancing, cracking jokes, talking to people, putting the mic in people's face, asking them how they're doing today. Kind of like this. But, you know,
well, that's why we're doing this interview, to help spread the word, you know, hopefully get you to where you're going. Sounds like you want to be, you know, playing in front of bigger crowds.
Right now, this might sound a little full of myself, maybe not, maybe so. My short-term / long-term goal, depending on what I'm up to, like within the next year or two, I would love to do a show at PNC Arts Center up north. Holy, nice exhaust. I would love to do a show up in PNC Arts Center. I've seen a lot of great performers there, such as Richie Santa, my friend Richie Santa. He's one of the best Elvis impersonators in Jersey. The last time I was there, I believe it was Sebastian Scaglione, I believe his name was. He played Frankie Valli in the Jersey Boys Broadway production, which is pretty incredible. If I have my facts correct, I could be wrong again, but you know.
So just getting the name out and
getting out there, that's like the first step, in my opinion. Getting to PNC, having people out there, you know, asking who I am, what am I, you know, then you got people talking.
Yeah, because now you're like a local hero. Now you want to, you know, branch off and, you know.
I appreciate you saying that. You know, me, I just look at it the way I just do what I do. I make people smile when I can. Local hero, that's seriously an amazing thing to say, Mike. I appreciate it. Thank you, you know.
Everyone here knows about you, you know what I mean?
And I appreciate you saying so, you know, and I'm glad I can make an impact in this community. This is an amazing community we have over here in Brick, Toms River, you know, Bayville, this, you know, Ocean County. It really is a wonderful place.
Now, people come in the store and talk about you all the time. Like the guy today I told you earlier left his information for you to check out and collab with.
I'm very flattered. I gotta say, I'm very flattered that people think about me. Even because, funny enough, what lends itself very nice to the liquor stores. Nino's is BYOB. You can go over to the liquor store, get your liquor, come over there. Get a glottal of wine. That's what I meant. Yeah, bottle of wine. You come over here, you drink it with your family, your friends, whatever. And the fact that people are talking about me even before they enter the restaurant, that means universes to me. You know what I mean? It really does. And I'm surprised, to be honest with you. I'm very thankful. That really is, it's incredible to see what a community can do when word is spread and an impact is made. And when it comes to me, and I mean this with all due respect to the seniors who come to see me and everything, not everybody from that generation is very savvy with social media. I'm really not exactly a wizard myself. I help my mother every day with her iPhone, with a FaceTime, believe it or not. Simple things such as that. Technology is not an easy thing to master. So when it comes to my kind of music, it is very important for word of mouth to be spread. And I mean that with all respect, of course, because I understand, things aren't easy to get used to. But word of mouth really is a big deal, especially in a tight-knit community like Ocean County is. You know what I mean? Everybody's got word of mouth. Either that or you're on Facebook. My mother's a big Facebook poster. I talk about my mother a lot. I love my mother. She's like my number one supporter, my number one fan, but that's what I got for you there.
Now, if people want to find you on social media, get a hold of you, how they do that. And obviously, just if you want to see him live, Nino's Pizzeria, Brick, New Jersey, every Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You can see him play 6 to 8 in the evening. But on social media, where do we find you?
So if you want to find me on Instagram, I believe it is Max Valentino 7. TikTok is MaxVal77, MaxVal 77. Facebook, Max Valentino. If you got any reason to check me out there. What else do I got? YouTube, MaxVal77, but I do much different content on there. I do retro gaming videos, funny enough. Like Mega Man, Castlevania, stuff like that. So, you can come here to Nino's Coal-Fired Pizza, 6 to 8:30, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or you can look me up on social media. And I appreciate the support nonetheless.
Well, it's great talking to you and having you, and everybody look him up.
Well, Mike, thank you so much. I appreciate it. God bless you.
Great to have you.